one. And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for spending time with us. We greatly appreciate the uptick in calls lately. Everybody calling into the show, getting some support on your real estate side, investment side, buying, selling, investing, refinancing in real estate. We greatly appreciate everybody doing that. A lot of good stuff to cover on today's show. We've got Sean Febre, Manny Sean back in studio with us. The Febre brothers, owners of Febre Frameworks. We're going to talk with them about the market. We've got some of the latest real estate stats here, fresh off the press for Q1. So you've got the latest real estate stats for Pinellas County, as well as a couple stories in the news. US facing population collapse. We're going to talk about the birth rate. Also, you have a governor, a state rep that is found guilty of stealing $5 million in FEMA funds. So we're going to talk about this case as well, and a couple other national stories. Also, later on, we've got Aaron Williamson in the program. He is going to be in studio. He's social media expert and a technology expert, but social media companies are also facing a new threat. It's Meta cases put social media platforms at securities fraud risk. Now they're using these bots in order to kind of in-house their sales force. So we'll talk to you about that, some of the implications there. Coming up on the program. Before we do, a couple of hot listings. We always like to feature our real estate properties on air. And let's let you know about our W-2 Investor Seminar. You got to come out to this. We've got a W-2 Investor Seminar coming up on Wednesday, May 6th at 6 o'clock over at Crown and Bull. This is a way, now, if you're W-2'd, if you're making six figures or more, and you're being paid via a wage earner, W-2, we're going to show you how you can lower your tax bill utilizing some of the programs in the Big Beautiful Bill. We're going to show you how you can build passive income, and you're also going to be able to leverage real estate through doing that and keep more of your hard-earned money. So it's a free event. Come on out Wednesday, May 6th, 6 o'clock, Crown and Bull over in Dunedin. A great restaurant. We're going to buy appetizers for you and first drink provided by First American Home Warranty, Dominic Rock. All right, a couple of hot listings here. We always like to feature our real estate properties on air, and it's a strategy that works. It helps us sell our listings faster for more money. We have a highest list price to sell price ratio in all of Tampa Bay. So we got a couple of hot listings here. Let's look at 100 East Shell Point Road in Ruskin. This is a commercial property just under, right around the 900,000 mark, I believe, is where we listed this one. 100 East Shell Point Road, Ruskin. Beautiful property here. It's 6,700 square feet. You have a half-acre lot, plenty of parking. It's a commercial and residential building, so there's different multiple uses here. The new buyer could utilize this for a lot of different uses, potential uses there. Could be a contractor's office, maybe a professional office. I like the idea of those mixed-use kind of the businesses where you have all the different local businesses coming in and kind of sharing in referrals, kind of that co-work space. That'd be a cool use for that one. But that's 100 East Shell Point Road in Ruskin. A great opportunity for buying commercial real estate. And let's look at a residential one here, too. Let's take you up to Weeki Wachee, 9078 Birmingham Avenue. This one's in Weeki Wachee, Florida. This is Doug on my team, a great agent. He works really hard for his clients. This is a 321, 2452 square feet, almost 2 acres of land, completely fenced in. You got metal carports, detached garage. And also the interior is gorgeous. It's got that lighter color kitchen cabinetry, lighter color flooring, and stainless steel appliances. 9078 Birmingham Avenue in Weeki Wachee, Florida. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. You can search the MLS there as well. And you can see all of our radio and TV show expert contributors. Link over to our YouTube channel at consumerqb.com.
Only in America.
All right, we got the Febre brothers back in studio. Sean Febre, Manny Febre, welcome back in, fellas.
Oh, thanks for having us, Brandon. Always a joy to come in and talk with you about a whole bunch of different stuff, man.
Give us a little teaser of what we're going to talk about today, Sean. What do you like?
Well, it kind of sounds like we're going to get a little bit into dirty and corrupt politicians.
There you go.
Am I getting that right?
Well, we got one of them for sure.
That's
Yeah, we don't have enough time for all of them.
And
but
I
we
know
can get
I've
to
been
the one.
on this radio show a couple times calling for Pam Bondi to get fired, and now finally, you just told me today, which I had no clue, she's out.
She's out. And,
So let's start hoping for arrests. I mean, Ilhan Omar should be investigated. I know that's the FBI's job, but how do you amend your taxes from $30 million in assets to, oops, I made a mistake, it's only $30,000?
Yeah, it's a rounding error, right? I mean, she made a comma in the wrong place. I guess.
And then when she was approached by a reporter, she told the reporter to basically go take a hike.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she used the F word to do that.
Yes,
and we also have some real estate we'll discuss. We'll talk about some real estate stuff here too. But let's start off with that story you mentioned. So this is the gal Sheila Sherfilis McCormick stole $5 million of FEMA money. And this is a Floridian. This is a Floridian here. This is Floridians' money, and we've been devastated by these hurricanes. So think about the gall of this so-called public servant. That's money Floridians rely on after hurricanes. My district was hit 6 times in 2 years. That's from Representative Greg Stubbe. He led the charge and introduced the expulsion. So before she could face the final ethics hearing, she resigned. And either way, she's gone. Good riddance, says the tweet from Representative Greg Stubbe. But yeah, your thoughts on that? I mean, you're stealing from these. It's almost like the folks in California, Minnesota, stealing from hospice and stealing from autistic kids. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about. I mean, I drove down Pinellas County just the other day, and that place still looks like a war zone in all those canal streets. I mean, they need that money to rebuild or whatever you can do. I mean, right now, some of these one-story houses that have been lifted up, I mean, they look crazy. I mean, it just, you see the foundation there, I mean, everything, and then it almost looks like it's on, like, planks, you know, that they use to kind of store tile or whatever it is. It's just so crazy. But I'll tell you something. They didn't mess around. They're probably doing almost elevation 20. It looks like
they're going up higher.
They're going up higher than elevation 12. They're like, it just, I mean, all those that I've seen, they've gone the extra mile.
My question is, how can they get away with stealing that much money, thinking nobody's going to find out? We have the Nick Shirleys in the world that are uncovering this fraud, and DeSantis is a strong proponent of Florida Doge.
Yeah.
But did you see what they are trying to pass in California?
Yeah.
They're calling it the Stop Nick Shirley Act.
Terrible.
So essentially, they're saying you can't go investigate this fraud as an independent journalist.
Yeah.
So wait a second. We're upset, and we're trying to make it criminal for someone to investigate fraud. But, hey, the person committing the fraud, you're trying to protect them.
And that's what happens when you have a one-party state. You know,
it is.
You have a one-party state out there. It's terrible, but I really see some momentum swinging, and I'm hoping that Steve Hilton can win the governorship out there. I mean, he's actually leading in the polls, at least the ones that I saw, and he's the Republican. He used to be on Fox News from time to time. Smart guy, and hopefully common sense will prevail. Let's move on to some local stats here. As your real estate economist of choice, we'd like to talk about the real estate market. So I've got the Pinellas County stats here on the team here. So no, they're not showing up. All right, let's go to a different story. What other story do we have? We'll come back to the stats here after the break. So we also have a big shakeup in the media space. So you've got Democrats in full panic as Ellison family buys CBS and CNN. I mean, that could really shape a lot of the foundation, because when you think about why do people do things why do they vote a certain way? Why do they support certain things? It's a lot about the media. So this was a post from the Hodge twins. It says that basically they're taking over CBS News, and CBS is already exposing California fraud. That now they're looking to buy CNN too with a $110 billion deal, outbidding Netflix. So far left reporters, quote unquote reporters, are melting down. They're losing their propaganda machine. So it's kind of interesting when you see how that really is. It's about the media. It's about InfoWars, right, Manny?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you think about legacy media. I mean, you're talking about Fox News, CNN. I mean, we're talking about where most people or civilians get their news from.
Used to get their news.
No, you're talking about still the older generation still, looks at the media to get all their news. Now, the newer generation, we're on social media, and we see, I mean, I feel like that's where I get my news, more so than that, because, I mean, they're telling you exactly what they want you to hear.
Yep.
And then that's where people just get stuck in one party, and they don't ever think about, hey, maybe this is not the right one for me, or maybe it's corrupt, and it's not really helping us as, United States.
I would say it's a little dangerous for you just to get your news from one source. So a lot of what I've seen is Gen Zers and millennials going towards like the TikTok news and Instagram and X and things like that, reading or listening to exactly what they say, taking it as 100% fact, as opposed to doing their own research.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of influencers that I listen to, and I think to myself, there's no way that can be 100% true. I do my own research.
Exactly.
And it turns out it's not 100%. So essentially what you have are multiple people providing you fake news is for you to cross-reference all these sources and see what's in common to actually find out what's 100% fact.
Absolutely.
I would say, for the most part, X has the most diverse opinions on news topics.
Oh, yeah.
I like getting it from there, but then also cross-referencing, and I'll still do this. I'll cross-reference it on ChatGPT, X, Gemini, on all AIs just to see what it comes up with.
Yeah.
And for the most part, AI seems to provide the most factual basis because they provide their sources at the end.
Yeah, yeah, and if you ask Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, all the different ones, Grok, right? You'll get a different flavor.
You will.
I remember there was one, where Charlie Kirk is Charlie Kirk a good person? One said no.
That was ChatGPT,
right? Remember that?
Gemini. Yeah, they tend to lean a little bit more liberal, progressive than anything else. But I mean, it's good to get those takes as well because you don't want to be just one-sided and just get just all your takes from Grok.
That's right. Now, we got a big event coming up to South Florida. This is going to be, and Manny, I know you were talking earlier about you got a young soccer player in the family. Yeah. So it's game on. So you got the World Cup coming to South Florida. It's going to be a big impact to the commercial market down there in Miami. So Miami's preparing to host the World Cup down there. The global attention is translating into real demand for office, retail, industrial, mixed-use space down in South Florida. So the FIFA World Cup is supposedly it's going to have around a $1.5 billion impact in South Florida real estate, which is already seeing a lot of the tech bros moving down there. Mark Zuckerberg just hit the news with a $170 million purchase on Indian Creek Isles. So, yeah, it's going to be a big impact there. Your thoughts around the soccer world?
Yeah, man. I mean, for me, I'm a hardcore fan, and I know that I wait 4 years for this to come around every single time. I wish it was every 2 years because I enjoy it so much, but I won't ever leave the couch there for that whole month that it's going on. But yeah, I mean, there's people coming from all different countries. I mean, in the United States, soccer isn't the most popular sport here.
Yeah, I don't think Americans realize how big soccer actually is.
But I mean, you're talking about places like Spain where it's literally a religion. You're talking about all these different places where they're diehard real fans. Like we're talking about bandwagon fans here that are NFL fans. I mean, Bucks fans.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys that watch football, they're not real supporters. Like that's why they call them supporters in the English Premier League because they literally go there and I don't even know if they really sell alcohol at the stadium when they go in. I'm not 100% sure on that because they go to the pubs before, get a little hyped up and then they go to the game. But those guys, they're hardcore supporters. They follow the game, and I think the World Cup's going to be a tremendous ad for our economy.
Well, that's not just going to be the World Cup that's going to boost those numbers in Southwest Florida. You also have what Mob Donnie did in New York and saying, "Hey, knock knock, hey, we're finally going to tax the rich." That 12% on I forget what he calls it, but property that is not being
second home. Yeah,
second home. I mean, those individuals. There's no way. Anyone that can afford a $238 million home is thinking to themselves, yeah, I'll give that money to Miami. New York. Let me go to Miami where it's warm, it's nice, and essentially a World Theater Forum for the next, 23, 28 days in June.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it's going to be an economic impact. You're going to have a lot of it. It's going to trickle into the hospitality industry, all of that. It's going to be a big winner for South Florida. So that's such a big.
Hopefully, some of those people come to Tampa.
Yeah, we'll get some. I think we'll get some that say, "Hey, this is too much for me. Let's come over to the Gulf Coast where it's a little less hectic. You get more bang for your buck over here. Let's face it, Miami's a lot more expensive. Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach County. I mean, that's your concentration of wealth. And then you move over to the West Coast. You got Naples, a lot of wealth down there as well. Collier County. right on up through Sarasota, and then into Tampa Bay, where, of course, we like to live, work, and play here in Tampa Bay. I'm talking with the Febre brothers here. They're owners of Febre Frameworks. They have a real estate photography company here in Tampa Bay. What's new on the business side? How are things going with Febre Frameworks?
Oh, we got them drones flying out there.
There you go.
Well, we did. We actually made it easier, and I don't know if I touched it on this last time, but we bundled all the packages just to make it so much easier for a realtor to say, hey, what do I really need to sell the house? Hey, we made it easy, and we came up with really cool names. We came up with the listing launchpad, the market magnet, the showstopper, and the clear to close. I mean, you got everything in a package that you need to list the property that you have. So if you have a luxury property, you want to do a clear to close. You get videos, Matterport. One thing with the shift in Matterport, which was crazy, which we've seen a kind of a drop off on, Zillow and them are in a legal battle. So now they've kind of dropped off the Matterport on Zillow. So now everybody, instead of using Matterport, have shifted to Zillow and started using the Zillow 3D tours. Is the quality the same? No. Matterport is 100 times better. But
is a homeowner going to know the difference?
No, they're not going to know the difference. Yeah. But if you did see them side by side, but I mean, you can literally look at the entire house, walk through it, and you're going to get a feel for it. I mean, for out-of-state buyers, it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. Quick break, right back. I wanted to ask you guys about the if you've seen the Hulk Hogan documentary yet. It's pretty cool. I just watched it. It's awesome. So shout out to Hulk Hogan and his whole family. It was really cool to see that. And,
rest in peace.
American icon, rest in peace. Absolutely. So as we're going into break here, we'll say make sure you train, eat your vitamins, and say your prayers. We'll be right back.
We'll be back, brother.
We'll be back.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Are you a W-2 wage earner making $100,000 or more and feel like taxes are crushing you? What if you could legally reduce your W-2 income using real estate? With strategies like real estate professional status, short-term rentals, high earners are saving tens of thousands of dollars per year. Join us for our workshop and learn how to keep more of what you make. Wednesday, May 6th at Crown and Bull. Mark Hay and Brandon Rimes will be hosting a financial advising workshop for W-2 earners making $100,000 or more. Wednesday, May 6th at Crown and Bull, Main Street, Dunedin. RSVP by calling or texting 813-917-1894. It's a free event. We're going to buy you appetizers, and your first drink will be provided by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. B Rimes at KW.com, 813-917-1894. BRIMES at KW.com, 813-917-1894. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
Did you know that we buy houses cash? We can close quickly for a all-cash offer on your real estate properties, residential, commercial, even vacant land. We'll buy your property cash. No cleanings, no showings, and no hassles. You can even possibly stay in your home post-closing. Call Brandon at 813-917-1894. Submit the email at consumerqb.com or call 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. We buy houses cash and fast.
Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. B Rimes at KW.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. B Rimes at KW.com. All right, let me tell you about my friends at Bayview Paints Plus, top-tier window, solar panel, and gutter cleaning, Christian company with godly morals. Find them on Yelp, Facebook, and Instagram at Bayview Paints Plus, or call 813-917-1894. Window cleaning, solar panels, gutter cleaning at Bayview Paints Plus, 813-917-1894.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rimes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550 or consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back, Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to jump right into some real estate stats here. We've got the Febre brothers in studio, and they are our real estate photographers on the team. Let's go to Hillsborough County stats. So we've got real estate market stats here for Hillsborough County. So if you look at the top right, that's going to give us year-over-year data, 2025 to 2026, right? So new listings compared to a year ago, there's actually a little bit less hitting the market, which is actually good. It's good. Let's keep less houses on the market, and that means it's going to drive pricing up. Hopefully that's the idea. And you see 1,700 hit there. You're down 12%. You've got active listings are down 2.8%, very nominal number there. The pending ratio is about 31%, 32%. Which is up slightly. The median sale price, that's going to be your $412,000 number there in March of 2026. So that's down just slightly, down by 0.7. You have your days on market up to 58. Used to be 46. Now that's a 26% swing. The sold price is actually down 3.9%. So that's, percentage of sold versus list prices. About less than list price. So that's 25% selling less than the original list price. Price reduced. How many were reduced? About 55% of all the listings that hit the market had a price reduction. Let's see here. Let's look at the price to sell price ratio. 92%. At our Keller Williams office, we're at 98%. Okay, big difference there. A 6 points difference between the average market. And then if you look at the days on market, 123 is the days on market. And then you have what percentage, here's a question, what percentage of closings had seller concessions? Almost 56%, call it 56% had concessions. And what were those concessions amount? About $10,500 on average. So there's your latest stats. There's your real estate market update for Hillsborough County, Tampa Bay area. Your thoughts on those stats there, fellas, Hillsborough County.
Yeah, surprisingly, everybody's been talking about how much the properties have depreciated, but 0.7% doesn't seem like too much as far as like the closed price. So, I mean, people are having to be competitive out there, but I still think if you have a house that's really nicely renovated, go for that price that you want, because believe it or not, people do buy the houses that are turnkey. Yeah. Especially, now where you think about a lot of the neighborhoods out there that they're building. I mean, we're talking about houses on top of houses. There's not really a yard there. Yes. So some of these older homes, yes, they might have an older AC. They might have some things you have to do. But for me, I always go for the older homes because I feel like you get more for your money.
Well, the other story, too, is people moving out of Pinellas County, right? Hurricanes, we talked about. Some of what you're talking about is the houses seem to be closer. So they're moving Pasco, maybe up further north, right? Some of those Hernando counties, because you get a little more bang for your buck up there, Sean, right? Further north you go, you get more bang.
Kind of sounds like it's a buyer's market. And if you're waiting to buy a house, don't. Do it as soon as possible, because you can start building your own personal wealth.
Yeah, right now is the time, and rates are kind of coming down again. I'm seeing that they're coming back down. I think what's going to happen, I'm going to predict here, hopefully we wrap this conflict up overseas relatively soon. Oil prices drop, interest rates drop, and we smooth through to a nice midterm reception for President Trump and the GOP.
Yeah, and I really think that the interest rates are the key. I don't know if the Fed's going to stay there after, or if he's going to get fired, and see what happens. But at the end of the day, if those interest rates drop to 5%. I think there's going to be a flood. The floodgates are going to open up, and now we might get a little bit of a bidding war to drive up the prices. But right now, it's a great time to buy. You saw the seller consolidation.
It is, yeah. So that's going to go to your prepaids or closing costs. They're going to be doing repairs that they may not do in another market. Plus, A lot of stuff happening in New York. Mondami the commies seems to be ruining that up there pretty quickly, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, he's doing it. He's implementing some terrible ideas, some terrible taxes, and just overall policies.
Apparently, socialism is this is what it's needed to fix the city. Right
it's in vogue in New York City, at least. But all right, Febre Brothers, thanks for coming in. Check them out online, FebreFrameworks.com, ConsumerQB.com, and we'll be right back with Aaron Williamson. He's our tech expert, Cornerstone Project Management. We're going to dive into these new social media companies' tech cases here coming up. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
All right, welcome back, Consumer Quarterback Show. Vote for me, please. And I'm up for an award. It's the Innovator Award for the Tampa Bay Realtors. It's the local magazine, Real Producers Magazine. We're up for the Innovator Award. Check us out on social media. Takes about 45 seconds. Anyone can vote. You just click the link, scroll down to, I think, like the 12th section down, and give us your vote. Greatly appreciate that if you could do that for us. Hit us up on social media. And we've got Aaron Williamson joining us in studio, Cornerstone Project Management, all things technology related. Give us a little teaser of what we're going to talk about today, Aaron. You brought an interesting story here. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, AI is everywhere. It's in the news. And once again, it is making the courts decide things that haven't been settled yet, especially around AI-generated ads and scams.
Nice, yeah. And then, they hide behind that Section 230. So let's see how some of these newer court cases may be setting precedent in that, similar to the precedent that was set in the gender-affirming care / cutting off kids, whats and all that kind of stuff, craziness. But there were some lawsuits that really changed that game. And then now you got a lot of the hospitals, a.k.a. medical centers, saying, hey, we're not going to do those surgeries anymore. So hopefully this may change for the good, as we say, be a force for good. So hopefully that'll be the case here. A quick shout out to Heights Soft Wash, by the way. If you're looking for a pressure washing company here in Tampa Bay, they do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. HeightsSoftWash.com, taking clean to new heights. HeightsSoftWash.com, that is, HeightsSoftWash.com. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, we like to feature our listings on air. It's part of a strategy that differentiates us from our competition, and we're a top real estate team here in Tampa Bay. 98% list price to sell price ratio, one of the highest in all of Tampa Bay. 1001 Waterworks Lane, 10001 Waterworks Lane. In Riverview, you've got almost 2 acres of land, private gated 2 acres of land on a lake. This could be a business or residential. There's room for expansion. You also have a separated garage there as well, 2-car garage. 22 at 10001 Waterworks Lane, Riverview, Florida. 1,765 square foot building with detached 2-car garage. Great opportunity to buy real estate here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 369 West Winds Drive, Palm Harbor, one of my favorite listings. Beautiful property, conservation lot, no neighbor in the back. You've got a boaters community, golf cart community. Bring your boat, bring your jet skis. You got a private boat ramp in the community here. It's a 322, 1414 square feet, just under quarter-acre lot. Completely renovated, updated ceiling fans throughout. Gorgeous island kitchen there. The flooring is that lighter color wood. Beautiful property. The bathrooms look great. And Baywood Village is a true Gulf front community offering an optional HOA of just $60. Not bad for your HOA fee there. You can see all of our listings online at PlatinumMVPteam.kw.com. You can search the MLS there. You can also see all of our radio TV show expert contributors at ConsumerQB.com. That's right. Shout out to our veterans, our troops, everybody overseas right now protecting the homeland. Sometimes you got to fight the wars over there before they make it over here. All right, we got Aaron Williamson in studio with us, Cornerstone Project Management. And yeah, man, there's always, there's no shortage of topics. Every time we sit down in the studio here, Aaron, there's you got AI, you got social media. One of my big things about AI that I've been talking about is the just the strain on the environment, the water supply. You think about the cost of electric. You've got behind the meter movement. So hopefully the politicians stand firm on that. And behind the meter, meaning, hey, you're going to have your own self-generated electricity. You're not going to come in and force all the local communities to, surrounding communities to pay for your elevated pricing that will cause that demand to increase. And then you also have the fact that there's been a lot of tech experts saying, hey man, this stuff could become sentient, could end up trying to come after us. So where do you want to start here? There's a lot there, right?
There's a lot there, right? You mentioned the rising electricity costs, energy costs in general, I guess. I think there is maybe not a great political answer there. I think that there's going to be a technological answer maybe before we ever solve it, because we are working towards lower power electronics, right? So we're operating at voltages that are, lower than we've ever operated at before, thus, sort of using less energy in general. I think that trend continues, and these large data centers hopefully don't take us, like you said, take everything over. They're going to throw the electricity, the grid out of whack. They're going to throw economics of electricity out of whack. I guess that's part of it. But then they're coming for your money in these scams as well.
Yeah.
Apparently. So there's a couple of landmark cases out of Northern California against Meta right now. And historically, 230 has protected the platform, saying that they're not responsible for user-generated content, right? So if a scammer was to scam you on Facebook, the scammer is still responsible, not Facebook. What's happening is these scammers are running ads, and these ads are AI-generated ads using Meta's algorithms coded into their own AI. And the court is likely to rule in this case, that because it was Meta's AI, that the scammer is, while also culpable, Meta is also culpable because they are now generating the content of that scam.
Yeah, Meta cases put social media platforms at securities fraud risk. A modern boiler room, quote unquote, isn't a sweaty office filled with aggressive brokers on the phone. It's an air-conditioned server room with algorithms running advertising engines, as you said. So that's the difference then, right? So because they're allowing, they're putting their own computer programming into the
terms of in your world. You can have AI fabricate guaranteed return property deals, fake agents, fake listings, fake testimonials.
Yeah.
And is the scammer the only one culpable? The court is probably in this case going to rule no, that because AI was using the scammer's content among other self-generated content, that Meta's going to have to pay up on these scams as well.
Well, I do have some oceanfront property in Arizona. So throw back to an old George Strait song, "Oceanfront Property in Arizona," if you ever heard that one. But and if you buy that, we'll throw the Golden Gate in free, by the way. So that's your George Strait joke. Yeah, we'll throw a snowmobile with it. Yeah, you got oceanfront, you got the snowmobile. But yeah, so I can see where that could play out, man. And people already get scammed. I've had family members contact me, trying to buy something as simple as buying a dog, trying to buy a new pet online. The people talk them into mailing prepaid gift cards. That's red flag number one. Don't ever do that. Why can't you just take a regular payment there, fella? But anyways, it's sad that you have that. What else is going on in technology? A lot of hacking going on, and that's what your company does, by the way, Cornerstone Project Management. You help people with all different types of technology, protections. I love the two-factor authorization.
Yeah.
That seems to me like it's really kind of foolproof. I got the device in my hand. I'm going to get the number, and then I'm going to put the number into the technology.
Well, especially if your device is biometrically encoded with either your fingerprint or your facial recognition. Now, that's a whole nother level that's not even taken into account in 2FA.
Yeah.
So, those are, yes, we are a technology company, and we do a lot of cyber work. But I was talking to you earlier about these. Google a few years ago released a white paper saying we have made a huge leap in machine learning by explaining to AI how to do step-by-step analysis to solve problems it couldn't previously solve.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit later, I don't know if you've ever heard of the online community called 4chan, but essentially they're internet trolls, okay? That's what 4chan is known for. But they're on the forefront of technology in the testing world, of beta testing type stuff. they said back in 2022, they were basically stress testing one of OpenAI's GPT early models that was not released, using this sort of AI Dungeons and Dragons game, and they were making these characters solve these really complex math equations in the game. I know this sounds weird, and it's a weird rabbit trail, but prior to that, the GPT large language model was notoriously terrible at math. It couldn't solve very easy math problems. This is years and years ago. But these gamers, these end users, and I think this is where AI development is going, is getting pushed to the edge. It's being user-led. They basically taught the language model how to do step-by-step reasoning.
Wow.
And so basically what Google was trying to claim, the users, these internet trolls said, no, we did this long ago. Yeah. So anyway, it's interesting, but I think that applies in every industry too. I mean, when we're talking about, well, what AI tools can I adopt? Well, start using it, and use it. The idea is use chain of thought prompts. So whatever your business does, you walk it through what you need to do. If we ask these big questions and we get nebulous answers, well, that's not how you would solve a math equation. And I think this is where it all ties back. They say, if you wanted AI to learn something, like learn how to help you, use chain of thought prompts.
Okay.
And so that's what we kind of teach people we work with as well, because if you're adopting AI into your business, you can't start with the big problem. Yeah. Sometimes you have to start and walk it through the chain of thought, because it's not human.
Bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, bite-sized pieces, right?
Yeah.
A real estate investment, and say, okay, well, here's my funding, here's the address, here are my financing options. What would it take to do this if I wanted an improvement, or if I wanted a negotiation, or if I had a legal question?
Yeah.
But it's more of a chain of thought, chain of prompt process. And I say, because a lot of people ask me that question, well, what do I do? How do AI help me? How does it make it better? Well, what would you ask if you hired a consultant? If you hired me to come sit right next to you, what would you ask?
Right.
I say, just ask it that.
Got it.
How does your brain work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to break it down into pieces and say, hey, look, we're looking at buying this property, or we're looking at listing this property. What can you show me some relevant comps with some comparables? And then do your own work as well. Pull up your own data, right? That's the big difference where people make mistakes, is that they just trust it blindly. You still got to do some due diligence on your own side, just to make sure they're not overlooking a comparable or overlooking something that they may not fully understand. And that's where you could really kind of perfect this as you go forward, is at least what I'm thinking. Aaron Williamson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rimes. He is Cornerstone Project Management. He's a managing partner there as well. And what about the whole topic with the government, with the military? And there was a lot of pushback as well relating to Anthropic, wasn't it? Relating to the federal government. They wanted them to kind of...
the Pentagon banned Anthropic. There was a open bid for what the Pentagon, being the Department of War, there was a public bid to say who they were going to use to sort of guide their military weapons. And the big question right now is what's going to be used to guide the Golden Dome. That's one of the large funding opportunities out there for the DOW. But essentially, Anthropic had a bid that was doing quite well until there became some issues where the colloquial term is maybe Anthropic is woke.
Mm-hmm.
And it was prioritizing, and that was really what it came down to, is how would it prioritize answers,
right?
And what content it considered in answers, and calculations. And I think it was disqualified. They disqualified Anthropic altogether, even though they were probably the front runner at that time, because of these woke issues.
Well, I think Grok's on the opposite side of that, right? Grok's a little bit more level-headed.
It is
more conservative.
It is. I use it for news and information. Yeah, that's the one. Business productivity, Copilot, just because it's built into Windows,
There you go.
So
Copilot might be better if you're working on Excel spreadsheets or Word documents.
I update, exactly. Just throw your Excel and your PDFs in there, and Copilot does a great job of those.
Yeah, we're doing a lot with Keller Williams. Keller Williams Realty is out as a leader in that education department with our agents. I know Lindsay's been, going through some of those classes, going over some of that information. So it's interesting to see how this is changing, the whole landscape, changing the world. And, it's interesting, too. You got Elon Musk out there with Starlink and all these other aspects. I just added a Starlink dish to my home. So you have that. Got that. I've still got to do the whole connection still. But got somebody helping me with that. But when you think about it, Starlink, that's a whole nother area of interest as well. The ability to reach up into the stars, especially in the event of a hurricane or disaster.
Well, I've mentioned this before too. Is with Starlink's satellites, what does it exceed 10,000 now, right? Something, and the goal being 100,000. It's not just a mesh communications network. Elon Musk was thinking ahead, and he built actual processing capability and data storage capability into these as well. So it's his Starlink network is going to be an actual computing data center, a floating data center.
Yeah, essentially,
that's all mesh connected. And think about that. And then now we're talking about putting data centers in the tunnels of the moon, the underground caves of the moon. And so, I guess to go back to bring it full circle to that, you were talking about data centers polluting water and electricity.
Yeah.
Maybe
there always is.
Yeah, exactly.
Just how much is it going to cost to fly all the parts and materials and up to the moon? As I see that rocket taking off, I see a lot of red stuff coming out the back. I think that's fuel burning. Pretty expensive. The price of oil right now is $94 a barrel. So.
Oh yeah, and maybe rising. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and talk more with Aaron Williamson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show social media. You also have Roblox and some of these other companies in the news. I want to talk about that a little bit on the parental side, maybe some parental guidelines that you may be able to offer to some parents out there. And we'll talk about that. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Tired of long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation, aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online, willsmithaviation.com. That's willsmithaviation.com, or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, online at davidreynoldsjewelryandcoin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com, TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law.
Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net for all of your surveying needs. Land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, we got a couple of hot listings here. This one's 7154 Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee, Florida. Great opportunity. We got a marina for sale up in beautiful Weeki Wachee, home of the mermaids. This is a business. It's a commercial property. It's waterfront property. You got 3 parcels on the river there, the Weeki Wachee River, access to the Gulf. This has a motor repair business, multiple rentals. You have ice machine, retail store, and a live-in manager apartment. So the great opportunity, 7154 Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee, Florida, 3/4 of an acre lot right there on the river. All right, we also have Del Rio. It's 2488 Del Rio Way in Del Rio. Gorgeously completed a complete renovation here, 321. It's 1,407 square feet, just under quarter-acre lot. All new kitchen with quartz countertops, white shaker cabinetry, stainless steel appliances, farm sink, breakfast bar and nook, completely renovated. The bathrooms look great, fenced-in backyard, artificial turf, and a large laundry room with plenty of storage. Close proximity to Honeymoon Island and the Dunedin Golf Club. You can see all of our listings online at platinummvpteam.kw.com. You can search the MLS there as well. And you can see all of our radio and TV show experts at consumerqb.com.
This is God's country.
All right. Aaron Williamson in studio with me. And we're kind of talking about, the parental guidance side of things because it's so confusing, especially think about if it's an older parent. They weren't really into the technology thing to begin with, and you got your kids on all these different apps. Pedophiles, of course, are infiltrating those. You've got these different schemes coming from overseas. So that Nigerian prince now has turned to the children, and they're, coaxing them to, doing some really crazy things. And you got kids killing themselves, suicide. What's your thoughts on that, around that, and how parents can,
Goodness gracious. I mean, the dangers are very real. I mean, I think just recently 3 states, Alabama, West Virginia, and Nevada, forced a Roblox into a $35 million payment because they weren't protecting children. So now Roblox has instituted new age verification rules that if you don't do that, you won't be able to use their communication, in-game communication and stuff. But, I guess this is really where, as a parent, I say it's on you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, technology will always evolve. And yes, there needs to be oversight, but man, it's never been more important for the parents to know every single app and every single communication that their kids do.
Yeah.
There's just too much of it. I remember like when we were kids, the worst. I remember picking up an old phone that was, had the rotary.
Yeah.
And I just dialed random numbers.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what to do with this phone.
Yeah.
I remember doing that as a kid, but that was the worst type of communication I could have done. The technology wasn't there. But now, look at the hundreds of avenues that they have open for electronic communication. And, you can't rely on the government to parent your kids.
Yeah, it's personal responsibility. It comes down to that, right? It's personal responsibility, and you've got to be involved with your kids' lives. And I would say just rule number 1, do not let them take the phone to bed. When they go in their bedroom at night, whether it's 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, whatever time you send your kid to bed, keep that phone in your possession. Lock it up. Don't let them take that phone because on salemnow.com, wonderful TV side there of Salem, there's a couple documentaries there, and these kids, they get on the phones at night. They get infiltrated by strangers. I mean, it's essentially a back door to the world, and strangers come in there. The one story that resoundingly I remember in my mind, the kid was dead in 38 minutes.
Oh my
because
God.
he gave a pic to the person. The person then said, "Now I'm going to show this to your pastor, your teacher, your coach," and the kid just couldn't take it. He said, "Wow, that's so embarrassing. How can I live through that?" And he just took his own life in 38 minutes. So that can happen. And there's a back door. So it's like leaving the door to the world open by sending your kids into their room with the phone at night, especially because they don't have the faculties to make the decision.
That's right. I mean, and you're still the parent. You need to make the decisions. But that's a great point about taking the phone, not just at night, but I have a rule that phones are face down or away when we're eating.
Yes.
I don't want my kids on any sort of electronic device. They want to set up their tablet and sit there and do something while they eat. No.
It's so annoying,
Absolutely
isn't it?
not.
Trying to talk to somebody, then it's did 30 seconds of my life. Let me repeat myself.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. I think. Were you listening in on my conversation? That was it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's it's common sense, but then again, a lot of times it's a challenge because technology has all these different loops and back doors. But these technology companies really need to get serious about the age verification and making sure that the right people are on it and the wrong people are not on it.
Yeah, and the government's taking notice. Again, that can be a bad thing. So parents, have your guard up.
There you go. All right. How can people connect with you, Aaron?
Yeah, absolutely. So Cornerstone PMP, that's projectmanagementprofessional.com, cornerstonepmp.com. Local, Tampa Bay based IT, anything, one-stop shop technology, but essentially we help local businesses maximize their revenue. And that's what IT is.
All right. Hey, in the words of, I was talking earlier segment about Hulk Hogan. I watched his documentary. What a great American icon and a hero wrestler. Hulk Hogan, train, eat, and say your prayers, kids. Go out there and train, eat, and say your prayers. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.